Hi everyone, welcome to another video from Explore the Outdoor. Today I just haven't got a clue where I'm going, what I'm doing. Probably both physically and mentally. But I'm gonna just see where I end up, really. And I'm just gonna hit the road, no plans whatsoever. And just let's see where I end up. Have a look at the journey. So I had no idea where I was going. I literally drove with no idea. So basically I'm trying to keep the cost of fuel down at the moment and just working out where I can try and go locally, which is points of interest around the out areas. I've covered a few areas already, which if you have a look on the channel you can see quite locally, but it's really hard to find somewhere that's entertaining for you guys to watch. So I'm thinking of just traveling somewhere rural locally and seeing a combination of places, see what we find. So that's the plan. So as I head forward onto my journey, I noticed the famous Rosebery Top in there in the background. Head a little bit further up and up Birkbrow Bank and onto the North York Moors. For some reason, whenever I want to go places or travel, I'm always drawn towards the coast, the beach, the sea, or water. It's strange, and I'm not a keen swimmer, and I'm not keen on water, but that was weird because there's a car just nearly flew into me there, but he's coming round the side, flying around the corner. Or to travel south, I never seem to want to travel north. It's always south, not even west. I don't know if anybody else has had that. Have that inkling when they go places. It's very strange. Might look into it, but as I'm travelling now, I'm actually heading sort of southeast towards the coast. Might end up at the beach yet. We'll have to wait and see. So as I was on my way across the moors, I had to stop and admire this spectacular view. This is at the top of Danby Bank, just before you head down into Danby itself, and the views are quite spectacular. There was no breeze, no traffic, and I just see it at the moment. So I'm currently driving through the North York Moors, and I'm driving through a little town called Danby. There is a video about Danby on my channel, and I'll put a link in the description for that video. Such a small little rural town going deep into the valley of the York Moors, and then we'll come up the other side and we'll have a look and see what other towns there is. But the North York Moors is such a beautiful place to drive through. It's got spectacular views, and it's so quiet and peaceful and tranquil that you can just leave all your problems, all your worries behind, and just focus on the serenity of the place. It's a beautiful place. So currently driving through a little town called Castleton. I'm going to look to see if I can pull over, as it looks a nice little town, just to give you a review of what's going on around in Castleton. Looks really old cottages as I'm driving through this bit. Little bit of a town centre, church open. Oh yeah, let's go and have a look at the church. So the St Michael and St George church sits at the heart of the community of Castleton, and the first foundation stone was laid in 1924. However, the Reverend at the time of the building did want it to be built a little bit sooner rather than later, but during the war, World War One, 1914, when Germany's hold on the situation was getting more advanced, funding and materials went up in cost and the church was delayed. The beginning of the 20th century saw religion having a very strong hold on the community, and the Reverend George Bird believed time was ripe for a new church to be built for his flock. This was to replace the tin tabernacle, which had stood at the base of the village since 1863. The community, of course, were in full agreement, and fundraising began, where over the next few years the sum of £1,100 were raised. But like previously said, the First World War, 1914, unfortunately ceased that deliverance. But what you see now is the credit of determination and spirit of the community. So Castleton has key access to many surrounding areas, which you'll see. Also, it's a very small town, and I could only find the one pub in this area, and also the one community convenience store operated by the co-op there. It has a very small school as you walk a bit further up the bank, which 1824, I believe, was on a stone that I saw. So you can imagine how many children's been through them doors. And as you get towards the top of the bank, the houses at the top are met by this view. And, that's just fantastic. So, yet again, I was back in the car, and I was unsure where I was going, so I was just having a bit of drive, and I followed some signposts for Gothland. So as we know, Gothland is very famous for heartbeat country. It was a short drive from Castleton, about 20 minutes to get there. Lots of winding roads, country roads, fantastic skylines. And yeah, I arrived in Gothland to have a look about and see what was there. So well known in the series for the Aidensfield Arms, I believe. This was closed today, probably not peak season, and also Scripps Garage there, which was very dominant in the series as well. I had a little bit of a walk down to the station. I've never actually been to the station before. I've been to Gothland a few times, but never actually been in the station. So from where I was there down to the station, approximately about a 10-minute walk, if that. So Gothland Station is situated on the deviation line opened by North Eastern Railways in 1865, and this was to avoid the cable-worked Beckhole Incline, which was part of the original 1836 Whitby and Pickering Railway route. It was opened originally as Gothland Mill and was so named due to its proximity to the water mill on the Merk-Esk River adjacent to the station. The buildings themselves was designed by the North Eastern Railways architect Thomas Prosser, and there's very little has been altered in with the building since 1908. So what you see is basically has been unaltered all them years ago. So Gothland Station has been used a lot in the media, such as Heartbeat, Harry Potter films, Hogwarts Express, All Creatures Great and Small, Simply Red video, Holding Back the Years from 1985, Keeping Mum, which starred Rowan Atkinson, and Carrington, starring Emma Thompson and Jonathan Pryce. Of course, today was very quiet, so I was able to get onto the track, but I did pay attention to make sure no trains were coming before anybody states that. Stairs up across the bridge are quite steep, but when you get to the top of these stairs and you get to the centre of the bridge, you can have a great view of the whole station. So I'm here at Gothland, home of Heartbeat Country in the North York Moors, and not a soul around. Absolutely perfect for filming. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly what's being filmed here, but it looks very familiar on certain films. Very familiar with that bridge and the clock, whether it was Harry Potter, but I don't think Harry Potter was filmed here. But it's nice how the North York Moors Railways have kept that old historic feel to the railway with the natural gas lights and, you know, the original ticket shop booths and everything like that. It just seems perfect. So yeah, that was a nice surprise visit today. I really enjoyed that. And I've got one more stop to make, so we better get going before it starts to get dark. So after I'd been in the station, I had a walk back up into the sort of village square. It was quite busy actually for the time of year, but you can see where some of the shops were during the filming, as they all had sort of artifacts in the window about Heartbeat, etc. You had the village gift centre there, which was very Heartbeat orientated, local ice cream shops, Aidensfield stores, and the famous post office, which was used in the series. So I was back on the road again for my final journey of the day, and yes, I did want to end up by the sea. So it was only a 15-minute journey from Gothland to Robin Hood's Bay, and that's where I ended up. So the top of Robin Hood's Bay bank, I was parked. Not a problem today, but in the summertime, peak time, it is really difficult getting parked. But there's the station car park 300 yards up from there, and the daffodils were in full bloom. The tide was right in. There was very little wind and not many people around there. So, yep, I explored Robin Hood's Bay. So I finally made it to my last location, which is by the sea. You might have known where I'm more familiar with, where I'm more at home. I'm at Robin Hood's Bay, just down from Whitby in North Yorkshire, and it's a fantastic coastline, as you can see behind me, full of high cliffs and fossils as well. Robin Hood's Bay, well known for its fossil hunters. And I've just come down the rural way, but now I'm going to have a look into the town centre. The town centre bit, I say the town centre, but the bit where all the tourists go. So let's go and have a look at Brunswick Bay, Robin Hood's Bay. So when you come to the bank at the top, you can either go straight down the road past the fish shop into the sort of town centre, or there's a little gateway where you can go down the coastal path where I went, where you saw me walking down, and then there's an off shot down to the beach, etc. And then there's this bit here at the bottom, the local sea defence bit, and I can imagine that being really sheltered in the summer, and you could sit there and capture the sun and just the atmosphere. It brings you out at this street, which is situated sort of down towards the bottom end of Robin Hood's Bay. And when you come out of this street, you've got a pub that is on your left, and the food actually smelled quite nice, believe it or not. And straight across the way, the white building there is the lifeguard station and hut museum as well. Like any seaside town, it has its local businesses, which obviously thrive off tourism. But however, I've seen something recently in the Teesside Gazette saying that the locals living there were being sort of ousted by the tourists, by people buying the holiday cottages and renting them out and not to actually live there. So the local sort of population was decreasing in a way. But it's a fantastic place, and I've been to Robin Hood's Bay many times before, and the beach is fantastic when the tide's out, and you can do fossil hunting, crabbing, everything there. You could spend a full day there. I love anything to do with history, and when I saw this door frame, the original door frame from 1680, and straight away it goes through my mind how many people's walk through that door all over them centuries. It's just amazing and fantastic. This is the bank back up to the top. Like I said before, you can either come down this way or you can go down the rural path, which is quite accessible. But if you're not the fittest of people like me, it's best taking your time going up this bank. Well, that was not planned today, and I thought that I had a really good day actually when it comes to travelling there. Hit 3 locations, so Castleton, Gothland, and then finally Robin Hood's Bay. So sometimes they're the best days that you can have when they're not planned, and then you can just go with the flow, come across a location and see what's there. So I really enjoyed that today. Saw some nice traditional buildings, railways, and to top it all off, I ended up at a coast, at a beach resort where I'm more familiar with and more at home at. And I've just currently went through some of the videos there now and had a look and see what I've captured today, and overlooking the sea. But now I'm going to head back home and hopefully do a bit of editing and make this video. So I really do appreciate you watching and subscribing. So keep some more videos. I'll have a look and see what else, where I can go next on the adventures, and see you next time. Bye.